Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Halloween Cup, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Pawniard. Nice shiny Pawniard, and these battles come courtesy of Yarzard X. Yarzard X was kind enough to submit these battles to the channel, and this is a very powerful team. It's leading with Dragalge on the lead, Pawniard on the safe swap, and Carbink in the back to close. Yarzard X said that this team was able to get him from 407th on the leaderboards all the way up to 64, climbing almost 200 elo with this team. And it looks like a fun one. I tried Dragalge myself a little bit, and I've been toying around with the idea of XL Pawniard as it has a lot of very strong play in this meta. So big thanks to Yarzard X once again for the battle submissions, and without further ado, let's dive right in. Big thanks once again to Yarzard X for this battle submission, and if you'd like to have your battles featured on the channel, link in the description. But here we go, facing off against Human Catcher Bug. Yarzard's going to immediately pivot into his nice shiny Pawniard here, and Pawniard, I would imagine, gets the shields on this team. It is the squishiest member, but absolutely hits like a truck, and Human Catcher Bug pivots into a Greninja after grabbing a shield. And Yarzard gets the boost with the resisted Night Slash. It's all resisted. And going to shield this Hydro Cannon, as with that double boost, attack rise by 2 stages. These Fury Cutters are super effective and are going to begin to shred the Greninja, now grabbing shields off of Human Catcher Bug, and going to make it to another Night Slash here. This may have to get the final shield, and shields will be down as Human Catcher Bug wants to get rid of this Pawniard here. And of course, this Hydro Cannon would absolutely KO here. And now Yarzard's going to look to bring the Dragalge back in here. Slight energy lead on the opposing Dragalge, and Human Catcher Bug has a Wormadam Trash in the back. Yarzard's going to bank some energy. That's massive. Brilliant play there, because Yarzard X is now way ahead and very close to an outrage. So now going to throw Carbink in here to absorb all of this damage and try and get as much chip damage in as possible on this Wormadam here. Going to go for a Rock Slide that sits for neutral, doesn't KO, but gets it low enough. And of course, with Confusion, Wormadam does take a while to get to those moves, trying to load up as much as possible, and Human Catcher Bug will trigger the CMP tie here. This, of course, will take out the Carbink here, and Dragalge has some very respectable bulk in the Great League formats, can tank whatever Human Catcher Bug wants to throw, and has the Outrage locked and loaded for the opposing Dragalge. Holy smokes. We are saying bye-bye to the Dragalge, and we're Dragon Tailing down the Wormadam. Brilliant execution by Yarzard X. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Not only does this team look very fun, but quite solid overall, as all 3 of these Pokemon have tremendous play in this meta. But here we go. Zess Lee going to instantly pivot into the Pawniard, and is met by a Toxicroak, but Pawniard can hang on long enough to get off a massive Iron Head, likely grabbing the shield, but no, they don't shield. That did not last very long, so Yarzard X going to wisely wait down the switch clock here and come back in with the Dragalge, as Toxicroak is a nightmare for Carbink. Gonna let this Mud Bomb go here, can survive it, and I would imagine look to Dragon Tail down, and switch clock is not quite up yet. So Yarzard's going to have to throw this Aqua Tail here to burn the clock and hope like heck that he can get out unscathed, but it's just not quite up. It looks like the Dragon Breaths are going to take out the Dragalge. Now it's all up to Carbink here. Carbink against the world, and this Wireless is staying in to throw a resisted move here. That can only mean one thing, my friends. There's something in the back that does not want to see a Carbink, and this Wireless staying in, getting rock thrown down by this Carbink here. I wonder what could be in the back. My goodness, could it be ABA Dragon? No, it's a Marowak. No wonder. Oh man, Carbink is about to have a field day here. This is very dominant. Marowak can hit with the super effective Bone Clubs, but they don't really hit very hard. This is not a Shadow. Carbink, as we all know, about as tanky as it gets. Gonna let this go. Can safely shield through this, but Charizard X is quite confident in this Carbink. It seems these Bone Clubs, although hitting for super effective, are not doing very much. And of course, the fast move pressure is resisted. Gonna look to build up to just shy of back-to-back here and go for this Rock Slide. This Marowak is putting up a fight here. Holy smokes. Gonna shield the Rock Slide. And Charizard X makes it to another Rock Slide. My goodness. Carbink sweeping up. We are saying bye-bye to the Marowak. And we are rock throwing down the Zweilous. Holy smokes. Carbink coming in clutch to close the game strong. You absolutely love to see it. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Man, I may just have to go ahead and build my Pawniard for this Halloween Cup. It is putting in work, but here we go. Scizor lead here. Not the best lead for Dragalge. Kind of a core breaker. Going to pivot into Pawniard here and look to get off Night Slash #1 here on the Scizor. Going to be interesting to see what they want to do. They let it go. That does boatloads of damage. Holy smokes. Shadow Scizor. Quite squishy, but makes up for it as it does hit quite hard. And shielding up, wisely shielding up the neutral X Scizor. That would have done a lot, although neutral, as it does have stab and Pawniard. Not the bulkiest, but my goodness, is it spammy, and my goodness, does it hit hard. Drawing out a Toxapex here. This is amazing. This is brilliant to see for Charizard X, as Carbink in the back wants nothing to do with the Toxapex, as many of us can probably imagine here. Gonna look to let this Brine go here. Doesn't KO and allows Pawniard to absolutely load up, and it's looking like gonna make it to back-to-back Night Slashes here to put that pressure on this Toxapex. These poison jabs, of course, are double resisted, and Charizard X does make it to, I've lost count. I would imagine the final Night Slash, taking out the Toxapex. They fully let the Toxapex go. And now Charizard X is going to bring back in the Dragalge. They're not making it to a Night Slash in time. And they've got a Greninja in the back. They were saving those shields for the Greninja, but these Dragon Tails are absolutely chunking the Greninja here. Dragalge, like I said, has respectable bulk in the Great League formats, can tank a Night Slash no problem, and is resisting this fast move pressure. Not even going to throw a move. Recognizing the win con is to just Dragon Tail down. Can safely shield this. That Dragon Tail did go through, and the Greninja goes down. Holy smokes. Carbink, not even needed for this one. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Pawniard definitely seems better than ever in this Halloween Cup meta, but here we go. A massive core breaker for this entire team. Holy smokes. Clefable can absolutely put in work against each Pokemon on this team. So Charizard X gonna stay in a little bit here to whittle away at the Clefable. Can comfortably tank a move from it. And looks like going to let the move go. And perhaps try and look to pivot into Pawniard, I would say, at some point. Going to throw another Aqua Tail and see what the Clefable wants to do. Clefable can certainly survive this, but the goal is to whittle it down. That's what you really want to do with a core breaker, guys. Whenever I say a team effort or tactical maneuvering, that is what I'm referring to. You have to employ just that, a team effort. But pivots into the Pawniard, draws out the Scizor, and they let the Night Slash go. Holy smokes. Gonna shield the Pawniard. Like I said, Pawniard gets the shields on this team in most circumstances, and going to look to load up and go for yet another Night Slash. Gonna be interesting to see if the opponent wants to return the shield here. This Night Slash does KO. They do not want to return the shield. They want to maintain their shield advantage. They bring back in the low health Clefable, and Pawniard is at another Night Slash. This is resisted, but definitely enough to KO. And they are now finally shielding here. Pawniard should tank a Meteor Mash here. It'll be very close. It does tank the Meteor Mash, and they instantly pivot into a Nidoqueen, but Pawniard, as spammy as it gets to another Night Slash here for a Nidoqueen non-Shadow. They do let that go, and now going to pivot into Dragalge. The play here, in my opinion, is to get as much Dragon Tail damage in as possible. This is absolutely worth the shield, and Charizard X is executing to perfection. Gonna just try and chunk with those Dragon Tails, and now the Nidoqueen is in a manageable health range. They should not make it to another Fang, even though this is a non-Shadow. These Rock Throws do have Stab, and they do not make it to another Fang. Clefable is close to another move here, but Carbink did not have to get debuffed And from full health, definitely tanks a double super effective Meteor Mash, does survive, and gets the rock throw down. That is how you overcome an RPS hard counter team, my friends. Shouts to Yarzard X for the execution. Good game, well played. Big thanks to Yarzard X for the battle submission yet again. These are amazing battles here, but here we go. Positive lead, Greninja. They safe swap a Charjabug, and it is Carbink time if I've ever seen it. Holy smokes. Carbink is not, or excuse me, Charjabug is not a safe swap in a meta that has the potential to have a Carbink. So, yeah, there is no need to throw a move, especially knowing that there is a Greninja lurking on this team here. So just going to let all this go and look to rock throw the Charjabug all the way down. Leave this matchup with just about max energy here. And they've got a Nidoqueen in the back. So this is pretty good, not as bad as it might seem. Gonna go for the Rock Slide plus Moonblast, I would imagine. And Switch Clock is just about up. It would be a good idea to not get farmed out by this Nidoqueen, because Nidoqueen with loaded energy is quite lethal, and Yarzard X was thinking the same thing here. Instantly pivots into the Pawniard here, and they meet this with the Greninja. So not out of the woods for this opponent's Greninja, as these Fury Cutters are absolutely shredding. They do hit for super effective with Greninja's Dark typing. Gonna shield to get more of this Fury Cutter damage in, and pressure shields with the resisted Night Slashes, because they do add up, although resisted. Greninja not known for its bulk. And these Fury Cutters now get the Greninja into the low red here. Yarzard looks like gonna let this go and look to sweep, I presume, with the Dragalge, as Dragalge is still fully healthy. Very good matchup up against Greninja, as the Dragon Tails all absolutely chunk. Gonna bring in Carbink, and they pivot back into the Nidoqueen. They are at Earth Power energy, so no shielding this would be a lose con. Gonna shield that, and that is a brilliant shield. Dragon Tail down the Nidoqueen, and we Dragon Tail down the Greninja. Holy smokes. Brilliant gameplay and tactics by Yarzard X. Yet again, good game, well played to them. Oh man, I'm telling you guys, more and more, this is looking like my kind of team right here. I am loving this team comp here, but here we go. Positive lead, about as positive as it gets. Dragalge onto Toxapex. The reason why, obviously, is because Dragalge is a hard wall to Toxapex, and he can hit with these massive outrages with Stab here. Doesn't KO, but it does some very meaningful damage to the Toxapex, and they aggressively pivot into a Frostlass, and we had just the answer. It is Carbink time yet again. You'd love to see it. And Carbink can survive whatever Frostlass wants to throw. They go for the Avalanche there. And just like with Charjabug, you don't need to throw a move here. You just rock throw this thing into oblivion until it is gone. And it's actually better to leave this matchup on low health. Gives the Toxapex less farm here. Has a move to threaten, but they don't want to get hit by a move for some reason. They throw their energy here. And Yarzard X is fine with that. Gonna look to, could bring in either one really, but gonna bring in the Dragalge. More of a dominant matchup here. And they're well past a Sludge Wave here. Are they running Gunk Shot? It looks, oh, they're running Gunk Shot. Holy smokes. I think you just want to go Sludge Wave on Toxapex, but they've got a Carbink in the back. Gonna look to chip with a super effective Aqua Tail. Tried to make it to another one, but I had a feeling that that Rock Throw was going to KO, but that's okay. This is a brilliant spot for Pawniard in the twos. You can go straight Iron Head in this matchup, and if the opponent wants to have any hopes, they should shield this Iron Head, but they don't. They let it go. They tried to call a bait when shields were up, and holy smokes, they get wrecked for that. They were sleeping on the pawn, and yeah, they top left. Good game, well played to them. All of the moving parts to this Halloween Cup team complement each other beautifully. Very strong team here, and a very positive lead for Dragalge. Had a Venusaur, they safe swap a Drifblim. And you guys all know what time it is yet again. Holy smokes. We've got our Carbink here on this Drifblim. They should just go straight Shadow Ball in this matchup, as if they try to make a debuff play, that's just going to give the Carbink even more farm. So the opponent playing this correctly, going straight Shadow Ball. And Yarzard X is happy to tank all this damage, knowing that they have a Venusaur to contend with. Likely going to come back in here. Drifblim gets rock thrown down, but Carbink leaves with loaded energy here. Tons of energy to threaten the Venusaur. They're thinking long and hard, but they do come in with the Venusaur. Gonna fire off the Rock Slide here. Charizard X has back-to-back Rock Slides here to threaten this Venusaur, and going for Rock Slide number 2 here. I don't think you want to pivot out of this. You don't know what they have in the back. A safe play is just to let them fully farm down, and holy smokes, Carbink taking out the Drifblim and nearly the Venusaur. You love to see it, and can just let all this go. It's all hard-walled by Dragalge, and they've got an S-Cav in the back. So this is getting interesting now. Shields are still up, and these Aqua Tails will do quite a bit of damage to the S-Cav. They're going to have to start shielding, and they are. But speaking of starting to shield, Charizard X has to start shielding as well, as Pawniard in the back wants nothing to do with an S-Cav and the Acid Spray bait. That is absolutely brutal. Holy smokes. Oh, that is awful. We're going to fire off another Aqua Tail here, grabbing both shields. And even if this is another Acid Spray, the Dragon Tails have put in some tremendous resisted damage here on this S-Cav, and now an Aqua Tail will come close to KOing. It shouldn't KO from this range, but it'll be getting it very low. And now going to look to pivot into Pawniard. They throw in the Venusaur to get Fury Cutter down, and Pawniard leaves with the move. Holy smokes, Charizard putting on a clinic in the Halloween Cup. We are saying bye-bye to the S-Cav. And that is yet another brilliant play by Charizard X. Good game, well played. Oh, these battles have been phenomenal thus far. And again, if you want to have your battles featured on the channel, link in the description to submit your battles. But here we go. Positive lead for Dragalge. We've got a Greninja here. Dragalge, of course, with the Dragon typing, is resisting this fast move pressure, and these Dragon Tails absolutely chunk the very squishy Greninja. Greninja's already below half health with just fast move pressure alone, and Dragalge can comfortably tank 2 of these Night Slashes, no problem. Like I said, Dragalge has very solid bulk for the Great League formats. Now going to go for Aqua Tail number 1 here. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They do let it go, and they've got a I saw confusion. Gotta go for an Aqua Tail here on a Dustox. Holy smokes. Oh, I've not seen one of these in a very long time. Holy smokes. Dustox, for those of you who are unaware, has some very nice bulk for the Great League formats, despite not coming anywhere close to the 1500 CP limit. But Carbink up to the task, absolutely shredding with these super effective rock throws. You do not have to shield a thing against bug types in this meta outside of course, the bug steals. But Charger Bug, Dustox, you don't have to shield a thing. That was very fun to see. Carbink rock throws down, and they've got a Toxapex lurking in the back here. And Carbink still very healthy and absolutely loaded on energy. But the opponent makes a very clutch catch. Holy smokes, onto the low health Greninja. But this is still okay for Charizard X, as they should very comfortably make it to another Rock Slide, and they do. And not likely they make it to another move here. It would be close, but yeah, not going to risk it. Going to instantly pivot after grabbing the shield from the Toxapex. And this is now trending in the right direction here for Charizard X. As we can see, Pawniard tanks a brine from a Toxapex, no problem, and thoroughly outpaces 2 these Night Slashes. Despite Toxapex resisting the fast move pressure, the Night Slashes just come way too fast for Toxapex to handle from this health range. Gonna shield. The brine would survive as well, but the poison jabs would begin to add up. The opponent sees it's not trending in the right direction for them. They do top left. Good game, well played to them. Oh man, these battles have been an absolute joy to watch here in the Halloween Cup. And here we go. Dragalge on a Charger Bug. You love to see it if you're Dragalge. They safe swap a Scizor. So, gonna actually stay in a little bit, as Charizard X is ABA strong to a Charger Bug. So, Dragalge is generally going to be the best equipped to handle something like this, as they generally just don't shield their Scizors for some reason. I've seen this over the years. Trainers are just reluctant to shield their very squishy Shadow Scizor. It absolutely boggles my mind and blows my mind. But the Scizor is gone, as they did no shield, and Charizard X only making it to 1 move here. Gonna go for the Outrage, grabbing the shield from the Charger Bug. And as I mentioned, this team is ABA strong to a Charger Bug, which is phenomenal for Charizard X here. Gonna come in with the Carbink, of course, absorb all of this damage. And oh, they've got a Greninja in the back. Greninja down a shield on this Pawniard here. Again, the Fury Cutters are hitting for super effective, although Greninja does hardwall the charge moves. But again, Greninja not known for its bulk. They bait with a Night Slash. That is unfortunate, but going to rip off a resisted Night Slash here. Resisted damage often proves to be meaningful damage against the Greninja and grabs the final shield there with the Night Slash. Should probably shield this. Yeah, it could be it is the Hydro Cannon, and now Charizard X is looking pretty good here. This is just a Night Slash. Not gonna cut it from the Greninja, and that did look like the CMP tie. Gonna go for the harder hitting Iron Head with Stab. This is resisted, but should be enough for us to say bye-bye to the Greninja, and now it is smooth sailing from here. Holy smokes, this team putting in the work in the Halloween Cup. It is a thing of beauty. What a phenomenal team here. Featuring shiny Pawniard, and this is over. The trainer can top left anytime now, but they are going to go down with the ship, putting up a fight here till the very end. And Charizard X going to go for the BM. Way overkill Moonblast here to put this Charger Bug out of its misery. Holy smokes, this team puts in the work. What a phenomenal team. Phenomenal battles by Charizard X. That is the team, my friends. Oh, what a team. What a showcase of shiny Pawniard putting in the work in the Halloween Cup. The team composition constructed beautifully by Charizard X. Big thanks to Charizard X, by the way, once again for the battle submissions. These were phenomenal battles, and it was an honor to showcase them on the channel. Again, if you guys want to have your battles featured on the channel, link in the description. And again, big thanks to Charizard X for the submission. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.